All right, and we are live.
All right, calling to order April 26th, Smithville, Missouri Economic Development Committee meeting.
All right, I'll do roll call. Alicia Ness.
Here.
Erica Winston. Here. Steve Langley is absent with prior notice. Carol Noker.
Here.
Jason Hoyt.
Here.
Marv Atkins.
Here.
Callie Maxfield. Here. And Carrick Brown.
Here.
Fantastic. Thank you all. I did, before we go into minutes, I did want to point out, we do have a new Board of Aldermen liaison with us. Marv Atkins was re-elected this past election, and he is our new Alderman liaison. So welcome, Marv. We're happy to have you. Also, just an announcement for you all, Bruce Kramer has resigned from the board. So Alicia and I will be going through, I believe we have 4 applications that we've received over the last couple of weeks for EDC. So we'll be going through some resumes and some interviews as well. So be on the lookout for an announcement on that as well. Minutes.
I motion to approve.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you all. Reports. Sorry, chamber.
I changed sides. We have 9 new members since the last EDC meeting. And we have a ribbon cutting coming up this Friday, April 29th at 5 p.m. at the Academy of Hair Design and Beauty. And then they're going to have an open house that follows. Our next luncheon is May 11th, and our sponsor is Meritas Health Smithville. And that's all I've got, unless you want the list of businesses.
Not unless you want to provide them. Thank you. School district, Carol?
Just a couple real quick announcements. The board received really good feedback at the April 19th community forum. I'm sorry, I can't talk tonight. And administration will be using this information to update the master building plan, which will likely include a no tax increase bond issue in April of 2023. And the board is working diligently to replace the superintendent. I'm assuming you guys have seen the news. They are going the interim approach to buy time so that they can do a proper search next school year. And today they did announce that Mrs. Denise Harwood has been named as the interim superintendent. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Alicia?
We just, same thing for Main Street. We have a lot of upcoming events. We always need more volunteers to help with those events as far as planning and executing them when they happen. So if anyone is interested, let me know. And also there have been some new building purchases and changes downtown. So with that, we're kind of taking the opportunity to educate all business owners or building owners or landowners around Smithville, kind of to help them understand the best placement for certain types of businesses, so that we don't have all offices in one spot and, vice versa. So that's our main focus right now. That's all I have.
And I have staff report. So I'll start off with, I do have a quarterly dashboard. I'll share that. Here we go. Quarterly dashboard. So looking at these, as far as the sales tax and the use tax, that is our fiscal year, which is November 1 start date. So over this time last year, we are up 10% in sales tax and up 20% in use tax. So those are fantastic numbers. We've seen those numbers kind of plateau a little bit. So we'll see how those come in. So we're excited to see those. As far as permits, we are up to 47 residential permits this year. So this is calendar year. This time last year, we were at 25. And as far as commercial permits, we had one at this time last year, and so far this year we have 0. But that should be picking up as the weather starts to cooperate with us. And as far as special events, we have not had any special events yet, but so far we have 18 confirmed so far for this year. And that changes on a daily basis. Our weekends for Courtyard Park and other parks as well, demand is high for them. So it is exciting to see the calendar start to fill out. And as far as business license renewals, we are up to 625. And that process always starts over every October. Just keep that in mind. Any questions on the dashboard? Great. And then as far as the rest of my update for development in Smithville, Eagle Ridge has 13 two-family townhomes since opening for construction. That's 26 permits so far. Diamond Creek, which is at 6th and Manzanola, will have 39 lots available starting in mid-May for single-family homes. Rollins Landing has just 1 lot left for construction. Greyhawk has 10 plus lots issued in their newest phase, and they have submitted plans for the next phase already to Planning and Zoning. Smithville Townhomes at 319 East Main Street has 8 units and is now under construction. There's 1 new residential subdivision in design stages, which could bring 70 to 80 new single-family lots on the market late this year or early next year. There's no location on that one, but I will get that to you next time. Richardson Street Plaza is nearly ready to start construction of the 3-lot commercial subdivision at the northeast corner of 169 and Richardson. The final infrastructure plans are nearly completed. McBee's Plaza at southwest corner of 169 and Richardson has initial zoning approval from Planning and Zoning. And they're working on finalizing the 2-lot subdivision portion of the project, which is right next to it, in the next 30 to 60 days. And then just an update from myself as well. This week I am in the week-long Heartland Economic Development training. It's kind of like step number 1 in economic development professionals. So myself and 90 other people from the region, when I say region, I mean 6 different states are represented here. We're all in Blue Springs doing training every day, all day this week, which is exciting. Lots of information. My brain's a little frazzled after day 1. Today was the first day. But I'm getting a lot of information and ways that I can take that information, translate it into how we can use it here, and getting that support and resources that will really help us in the future as well. So I'll give you a better update on what I've learned at our next meeting as well. But just to give you an FYI, that is what is happening this week. That is all that I have for my update. So for action items, 4A is chair and vice chair elections. In our ordinances, it states that after every municipal election at the city level, we must then choose a new or current reappoint chair and vice chair. We do have Alicia as our chair right now. Bruce Kramer was the vice chair, so we will need someone new since his resignation. So I'll open the floor to any nominations at this point.
I'm fine with sticking as chair, but if someone else wants to give it a go, that's completely fine with me as well.
Do we have any that are willing to step up for vice chair?
Jason?
I'm sort of looking at you, Jason.
You're in a lot of stuff already.
Is that why you have that text message today?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I will if I'd be honored to if
to.
you guys want me to.
I would nominate Jason Hoyt as vice chair and Alicia Neff to remain as our chair.
All right, we have a nomination. Do we have a second? All right. All those in favor? Say
Aye for
aye.
Jason.
You can.
Second.
All right. Any opposed? All right. Fantastic.
Do we get nameplates?
I can work on that. I can totally get you nameplates.
If you could get the mayor to come back in and get me a drink. Thanks.
I'm gonna get you nameplates.
I'm teasing. I
I'm
don't need a
doing it now.
nameplate.
You've said it. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, I've been up here long enough that I feel like I've earned one.
My goodness. All righty. Fantastic. Thank you all. 4B is approval of neighborhood improvement district and special business district recommendations to the board. We do have Megan Miller with us for the final time in our process. She's probably going to come back later. But for now, she does not have any further presentations for us. Today, we only have discussion of and decision of any recommendations that we would like to do, give to the board on NIDS and SBDs. So in the staff memo, talking with Megan, special business districts, there's not anything that we can do as far as saying that we want anything specific added on to what's already allowed by the state. So most of our discussion would be surrounded by NIDS. And with NIDS, there's only one certain specific thing that we can talk about, and that is allowing NIDS or not allowing NIDS to be used in pre-existing developments or to include them also in new developments. So for neighborhood improvement districts, if you use them for new developments, they're normally used for infrastructure. But what you can get in trouble for moving forward after that is that if the project goes under, the city is then liable. This has happened in a previous community, not here, but it can be disastrous. When you set up a NID in an existing community, an existing district, all of the property owners are then signing up for it, or do they vote? 2/3 vote on it, Megan?
They sign a petition.
Sign a petition.
Yep.
So then they know what they're signing up for, and at that point, the city would not be liable for those funds to be paid back. Megan, anything additional on that?
No, you described it pretty well. I think that just the key is that when you have new developments coming in, those lots haven't sold, and that's where your problems come in, right? If all those lots don't sell, then you don't have anybody to repay those bonds other than the city. So it's just a little bit easier and more, I don't want to say a sure thing, but you know, you have people to repay them in existing development.
Any questions on that?
So is it more likely to to restrict them to say they're not allowed at all on it, on those, or is it more likely to restrict a dollar amount?
We wouldn't do dollar amount. It would more be restricting it to only be put onto pre-existing developments.
Okay.
Or fully owned developments by people who will be living there or have property there. If we do it prior to development, where it's one large lot, the payments could come back on the city.
Mhm.
It is then a lot of NID debt to take over if the project does go under.
Can you do it based on a percentage of
Percentage of,
sold lots or
okay. Megan, have you ever heard of that?
I'm trying to think of the pitfalls. Sorry, I'm always the Debbie Downer. I
No,
apologize.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's just the same situation, I guess. If you said like, you know, it's a NID is done on a per lot basis. So when we do these, you're assigning a certain amount to be paid over the life of the bond. So if you have 20-year bonds, each lot is responsible for a total of, $5,000, depending on, what it is. And so it just adds up if those lots don't sell, right? That's the only thing that gives me pause, because Anna's right. It has been seen before in other communities where they attempted to do a NID on a new development, and some lots sold, some didn't, and then it all fell back onto the city. So I've personally only done a NID where it is an existing neighborhood and every neighbor, they want to pave their road in front of their house. And every neighbor signs up, and then it's distributed. You can either pay up front or it's put on your property taxes and it's paid at that time. But you always know, because those houses are occupied, that those are going to be paid. So I get a little nervous anytime we start talking about, and I think probably if I was in the position where the city was contemplating issuing NID bonds for a development that was new, I would probably recommend against it, to be honest with you all.
And again, this is a recommendation.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I think it makes sense for us to recommend that it would be a pre-existing only and not for new developments.
I agree.
Me too.
I agree.
Agree.
Agreed.
Great. All right. I'll take a motion and a second then, if there isn't any other conversation that you'd like to have regarding it. Absolutely.
I make a motion that for NIDS, we recommend those be utilized only for pre-existing developments and to exclude new developments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Thank you all. That wasn't too bad. Any new business for the floor?
I don't think I have anything.
All right. So as far as what happens next, so I will take all of these individual recommendations that we've done and put them into one comprehensive document. I will bring this all back to you for next month's meeting, for one final breeze through, one final last chance for questions, last chance for conversation, discussion. Have you approve those recommendations, and then past that, it will go to a work session in front of the Board of Aldermen. And then barring any future work sessions that they might want to go over, if they have any more questions, it will then be eventually approved by the board to be into action as the standing recommended policy for economic development. Long time coming. I'm excited about it. Fantastic. Well, anything else?
Nothing here.
Do we get to see Megan one more time for that last?
If she wants to come back, if she wants
part of
to,
the
she can
family.
come. I will always have Megan come.
I'm telling you, I want to join. I'm going to move to Smithville. I want to go.
Uh-oh, be careful what you say.
Yes.
We've got an opening now.
I tell you, I could throw a rock into Clay County from my house. I should have moved there.
You should have. All right. Well, barring anything else, take a
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all. That was fast.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Megan.
See y'all.